politicians now are telling us to buy stocks. It's kind of interesting if you think about it. Donald Trump last week posted on True Social, I think it's a great time to buy. And then a couple hours later, they lifted temporarily the tariffs on several countries and the stock market ripped. People could have made a ton of money if they just would have went off of that post. Now we have Speaker of the House Mike Johnson basically saying the same thing just a couple days ago, saying, you know what, I think it's a good time to buy stocks. What does this mean? This isn't normal for politicians to do this. Basically, in my opinion, the government is the arsonist in this situation, and it's also the firefighter. It's the arsonist in the sense that they're trying to change the trade order. And unfortunately, in order to do that, you have to create chaos. There's no good way to go about it. I'm not even saying whether it's good or bad. It's just it is what it is. If you want to create change quickly, you got to create some chaos. You got to start a fire. But then they're also the arsonists, and they're trying to put it out. The Federal Reserve often acts like this too. They're often the arsonist and the firefighter. And now we have politicians say, I think it's a great time to buy some stocks. Basically, what I think they're signaling to the American people is they're throwing us a bone. Because in all technicality, you really can't do that as a company because that would be insider trading, but the government can basically do whatever it wants. And they're kind of leading the show on this one. And I think they're trying to throw a bone to the American people saying, listen, we're working on something. I think it's a good time to buy. And I also believe that Scott Bessent is trying to create a situation of chaos where you basically shake up the American economy, but also shake up the Chinese economy and other economies, where it gets to the point where it gets very uncomfortable and you're basically forced to come to the table to make a deal. In a nutshell, that's what I think is happening the more I think about it. And it's a move that I think hopefully is going to work. You know, whether we agree or disagree with this situation, it doesn't really matter. Again, we're tadpoles swimming in the ocean. We just got to go with it. We're not in control. But I do think it is going to work. I think we are going to come to the table because in the end, we all need to do business with each other. And I think the American government is throwing us bones saying, hey, we're working on something. Because here's the thing, and this is really important to think about. Our entire retirement is in the stock market. We have gotten rid of pensions for the most part, right? Pensions are the rarity. They are not the norm now. Everybody has a 401k, or most people are encouraged to have a 401k, right? And if you're going to retire, that's often the best way to do it. So it's based on the stock market always increasing in value. And in order to do that, the stock market needs to continue to go up. And as a result, we need to always have inflation around 2-ish%, so that way the currency continues to be based a little bit, but it encourages and stimulates the economy. And you know what? I think the United States is possibly even thinking about maybe they don't want to have the dollar as the standard anymore, or maybe they want to have some different type of, world negotiation. Scott Bessent has basically said maybe we need a new Bretton Woods 2.0, that meeting that they had after World War II, where it basically made the dollar the standard for the United States. There's a lot of moving parts right now, but in the end, I think trade deals are coming. I think M2 money supply is continuing to grow. We see that on the charts. The Federal Reserve will cut rates. I truly believe that. And I think the stock market and crypto are going to go up. And I mostly focus on crypto. The crypto narrative has never been stronger. They are looking for budget neutral ways to buy more Bitcoin. They have a digital asset stockpile to encourage growth in other ecosystems outside of Bitcoin. And yeah, blue chip altcoins are not going anywhere. Ones like Cardano ADA, Ethereum, Solana, XRP. There's a lot of money and a lot of people backing these tokens, and I think they're going to stay around for a while. Let's see what happens, but there's a lot of blue chips out there that even the U.S. government's backing. So long story short, I think the government's trying to throw us a bone, and I'm not worried. I'm continuing to dollar cost average. But hey, I'm just a dude on the internet, so do what you want.